The objection I have to giving them full registration is a moral one.
These puppies are basically can either be given away and you may get $50 to $75 a dog, but them not being registered.
Obviously, you can see my intent to discontinue the breeding of the line.
Also, we had every intention of giving them full eligibility until they're checked and that bounds, and we had to come here to sue them for it.
The reason that I stated before is I don't feel they're responsible enough to breed.
That's completely unreasonable.
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie. Get him, Rusty.
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement, how do you do? I know you've all been sworn again. You were here some time ago when I rendered a judgment for the Fallons against the McMichaels, $450. Now, what are we back here for? You're alleging a breach of contract. You have a written contract?
No.
We basically just have a bill of sale.
We have a bill of sale.
All right, let me see the bill of
They
sale.
sold us the dog, and our intentions of purchase of this dog was for breeding purposes. And when we got the dog, we had no idea that they were going to register this dog as
It says AK registration papers along with guarantee of health will be mailed.
Right.
This is the AKC paper that you received?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And it's for limited registration, so that only entitles her to be registered and not any of her puppies.
Where does it say on this bill of sale that the registration would include your puppies?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Why didn't you include the puppies in the registration?
Your Honor, I have here a printout from the AKC website, a definition of a responsible breeder. In there it says that you must screen all possible future dog owners for responsibility and various other things. The objection I have to giving them full registration is a moral one. It's based on three things basically. A, they didn't pay for the dog. 2, I had to bring them to court. And 3, the fact that they are now suing for the price of the puppies instead of full registration. I have here also another printout from the AKC website saying that it is up to the breeder's discretion whether or not to give full or limited registration. That bill of sale or contract that they presented you, if I'm not mistaken, is null and void upon the non-payment, which is why we were here the last time. So that's pretty much a insubmittable piece of evidence.
Okay. How do you arrive at this $4,500, sir?
Based off of newspaper clippings of what the dogs are worth in the paper, what they're selling for, and what we paid for her.
Well, you didn't
It's
pay
the
for
price.
her.
Well,
Pardon? Did
It's
you
the
pay?
price difference between a registered dog and not a registered dog. These puppies are basically can either be given away and you may get $50 to $75 a dog, but them not being registered. When we bought the dog, we took our male lab over there, registered male lab, which is the father of the puppies over there, and basically they knew our intentions of buying this dog was to breed and become a breeder.
Their problem was that you never did pay for it.
The dog's paid for.
The dogs paid for it. You paid the judgment?
Yes,
Because of my judgment.
Yes, sir.
My understanding is that all I said was that since the McMichaels didn't pay for the dog, that I rendered a judgment in your favor for $450.
I thought I understood on the judgment is that basically the judgment for the payment that they received for the dog considered the dog to be paid in full per our agreement. We were given AKC papers for the dog. We became the owners.
I never said anything about AKC papers.
No.
Did I?
no, you did not. They were given to us after
After,
the judgment was made, after the court date. And
but not because of anything I said.
no.
Is that correct?
Correct.
That's what we were under the impression that we were.
Those papers were given to us at that date, and we were under the impression that everything was handled through the court case the last court case, and then we
Became the owners
became
of
the
a registered
owners of
AKC
the
dog,
registered
and what we
AKC
bought.
dog.
I called the
Based
AKC
off
on the
of that.
matter of the limited registration, which I'd like to express to the court. That is a privilege that is exercised for the fact if this dog is defective, has an overbite, is blind, is deaf, has something to do with her breeding in the future to carry forward. That is what that privilege is for when it comes to an AKC member.
You have anything from AKC that tell me that?
That was verbal.
That
That's
was
all that they've
when I
told
talked to
us.
somebody. But
They
if-
had nothing in writing on it.
They should have made us aware when we went to buy this dog, sir, that they didn't. She told me on the phone when I called her when I received the limited registration papers that every other dog in this litter was given full registration other than this dog.
And
I don't
every
think
other
she
dog was spayed or
exercised that
neutered,
right.
Your Honor.
They did not
Is
exercise
it
that right.
possible, just a moment, is it possible to now get full registration papers from AKC?
I have application here for them.
It is, if it's agreed upon by myself and my wife, but it's not, Your Honor. Well, two things. One, the reason that I stated before is I don't feel they're responsible enough to breed. Two is I don't want this line carried on. This dog, the mother of that dog, grandmother of those puppies, has since been spayed, was spayed right after giving birth. So obviously you can see my intent to discontinue the breeding of the line.
I don't.
And
I don't understand why it can't be carried on.
Who drew up this bill of sale?
I did when they gave me the 2 bounce checks from the last hearing. I wrote that upon receiving
You
two
didn't write
checks.
this when you sold the puppies.
Right.
I mean, when you sold the dog
When
originally.
she took the dog, we gave her that.
Right, and that's when
That's
she
what I-
gave me the
Yes.
2 bounce checks, or the 2
Well,
checks
they
that
hadn't,
didn't bounce.
they hadn't bounced yet.
No, they hadn't
Right.
bounced yet, but coincidentally bounced, which pretty.
What I want to know is, what did you mean by AKC registration papers?
Well, when you apply for registration of a litter, you're given blue forms provided by the AKC. They're individual dog puppy registration forms. One goes with each dog to each owner. That's what we gave her after the court hearing. We would have mailed it if the checks had cleared. However, they didn't, so we didn't mail it, obviously. Well, before giving it to her, we checked limited registration.
I understand. You're saying that's your privilege as a breeder.
Well, it's stated right there in the AKC charter, sir.
Well,
To a point.
that's on the
It's
email.
it also states in that paper that
We need to be
we
notified
should have
prior to
been
buying this
notified
dog.
at
They
the
should have gave us
point
something
of
in
sale
writing.
that this dog was not going to be able to have
Full
registered
registration.
puppies.
We would have not have bought her, sir.
We
That's
would
what
not
the
have bought
point
the
was,
dog
and they
if that
know.
was
They
the
saw
case.
our mail. They knew what our intentions were.
Sir, at that point also, we had every intention of giving them full eligibility until their checks did not bounce, and we had to come here to sue them for it.
All right, we'll take a short recess. I'll come back and give you my decision.
Ms. Jeffers was selling the horse because she had become somewhat afraid of her.
I'd rather give her her money back than to give her a horse that she might get hurt on, or that she is going to end up selling to a auction and they're going to use the horse for dog food.
My personal belief is that when I saw the horse on the first 3 occasions, I believe that she was tranquilized.
Remain seated in covenant order. This court is again in session.
That little piece of paper that plaintiff called a bill of sale and suing on a written contract, that piece of paper called for the payment of 2 checks, $225 each, and it says that upon clearing, the AKC papers will be given. No payment was made because the 2 checks bounced. Therefore, the defendant didn't have to give you AKC papers. He did so voluntarily, but he did so with a limited, I don't know, what would you call it?
Limited registration.
Limited
ability.
registration. That was his prerogative. I don't think he had to give you any at all. Apparently someone suggested that he do it, and so he did it voluntarily, but he didn't have to. Judgment is for the defendants.
We've got well-bred dogs here, and it's not fair. It's not fair.
The defendant's only defense in the first case for not paying was that the dog had behavioral problems. Why they would breed a dog that had inherent behavioral problems is beyond me, and just further goes to show their level of responsibility to breed.
They won't not get a fair chance in this world because they will not be able to be acknowledged as AKC registered dogs, to go to good people, good homes, to be shown, to hunt, to anything, field trial, nothing. They're going to be sold as pets, and they're not going to be able to have the full life that they could have had just because of 2 signatures.
I don't know what the plaintiff's definition of a good life is, but to me, as a pet, where your food's free, you're loved, and you're in a house, it's just as good as any other. Everything else is just fringe benefits. And if she doesn't want those puppies, I'll take them, and I'll give them away.
The Animal Court is now in session. The Honorable Joseph A. Wapner, Judge presiding.
I know you've both been sworn. I have read your complaint, ma'am. You purchased was it a horse from the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And when was this?
I put $1,000 down on the horse on November 23rd towards a full purchase price of $1,500. I have a receipt here for the...
Just wait right here.
Okay, thank you.
The receipts for the 1,000?
That's for the 1,000. The $500 was supposed to be paid by the end of January after I took possession of the horse.
Okay. Did you ever take possession of the horse?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Now, you said you saw the horse 2 times before you...
3 times.
3 times before you actually bought it?
Right. I do
Did you
massage
ride the
therapy
horse?
on horses, and
Excuse me. Did you ride the horse?
I had a friend who's a trainer ride the horse, yes.
And how long was this before you actually paid the $1,000 down?
That was the second visit. I paid the $1,000 on the 3rd visit.
Why did you make the second visit?
Well, to see the horse again.
What did you want to see?
What her behavior was like.
And what did you see when you...
She was reasonably well behaved. Miss Jeffers was selling the horse because she had become somewhat afraid of her. So I wanted to see her on several occasions.
She tell you why she was afraid of her?
She said that when she put a saddle on her, she became unmanageable. And so,
that was before you made the deposit?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I did.
And in spite of that, you decided to buy the horse?
Well, when we put the saddle on her, she was well behaved and didn't appear to have a problem, was not a problem
What
with
was
the rider.
the problem?
The problem occurred when I came to pick the horse up. Her behavior on that occasion was significantly different than when I'd seen her before. She was extremely difficult to handle. I knew that
What
she
did she do that made it difficult to handle?
She, at one point, she was running towards me. When I had her on a lead rope, I was running backwards. When we tried to get her in the trailer, she reared up. My personal belief is that when I saw the horse on the first 3 occasions, I believe that she was tranquilized, and the day that I came to
Do you have any
pick her
evidence
up,
of that?
only that Miss Jeffers told my friend that she never did anything significant with the horse without
I didn't.
Without what?
without tranquilizing the horse, and I have the affidavit from my friend who was
the
there.
horse tranquilized, ma'am?
No, sir, it wasn't. There was no way you could have sedated the horse, or she could have mistakenly misunderstood that this horse had very significant behavioral problems. She knew that the horse did not trailer because my trainer was there, and she approached me at the trailer after the clinic. She saw that my trainer is a big man, and he had a hard time trailering the horse. The horse, I told her in the very beginning, is not trailer trained, and of course it's going to be scared coming towards a trailer it doesn't know with people that it had only seen 2 or 3 times before. I told her that she had a lot of problems, that she has not really had a lot of time under saddle.
I was gone off and on until the middle of January, and I assumed that the horse had been sold.
She's a great horse. There was no problem with training her. I was the only one that had a problem with her.
Were you there when she tried to load the horse?
Yes, sir, I was.
Your Honor,
Why were you selling her?
Because I was totally afraid of the horse. I had a mental block as far as her behavior, and I could not get along with it. I told her that she had a lot of problems, that she has not really had a lot of time under saddle. She does not trailer train. She does not let a vet near her, and I explained to her at the time that we had tranquilized the horse when the vet was there to work on her, to float her teeth. That's the only time I ever tranquilize a horse, is when a vet is near, because there's too much at risk there when you tranquilize a horse.
You have the horse.
Yes, sir, I do.
On every occasion that I saw the horse, Miss Jeffers is very attached to this horse, and she told me that she would give me my money back if I changed my mind. When I got home that evening, I got a phone call from my mother in Alabama, and she told me that my father was dying and that I needed to come home. I'm a nurse, and I needed to be there to help with him. I called Miss Jeffers that evening, that was December the 3rd, and told her that because of my father's illness and what my perception of a different unmanageable behavior on the part of the horse, I had decided not to buy her. Miss Jeffers told me that she did not have the $1,000 to give back to me, and that she had some people who were interested in buying the horse as a broodmare, and she would have to sell her as a broodmare. I was gone off and on until the middle of January, and I assumed that the horse had been sold as a broodmare. So when I got back in town, I began calling her and leaving messages that, you know, I hadn't received the $1,000. I didn't hear from her again until I got a letter from her attorney dated February 3rd telling me that I had failed to fulfill our contract and that she had incurred expenses with the horse, so she was keeping my $1,000.
Well, tell me, what's the basis for your rescinding this contract?
Because I felt that the horse's behavior was different when I came to trailer the
She
horse.
warned you about the horse, apparently.
Yes, Your Honor, that's right. But I still found the horse's behavior consistent for 3 visits, and on the 4th visit, it was by far different from what I had seen.
Because you're trying to get it in a trailer.
And additionally to that...
Well, how else would you transport a horse?
But she knew the horse did not, and I offered, sir, at my own expense, to have the horse trailered by my trainer, or to load, he would either come out and load the horse into her trailer, and she said no.
You're still willing to do that?
Yes, sir. I also have a tape, sir, because I told her I'd give her the money back if the horse was untrainable or unrideable.
No, Your Honor, she told me if
letter
I
by
changed
my
my
neighbor
mind, she would
states
give me
that
the
the horse
money
has
back.
stood there for 6.5 months since she was supposed to take receiving of the horse. It has not left my backyard. It has not had any professional training to it. And I have a tape that shows you that this horse is trainable. Rideable, I'm not sure.
When was the tape made?
The tape was made last Sunday, sir.
I don't see how she can hold me responsible for board on the horse when the letter I've given you dated February 3rd states that the contract is void.
She's not holding you responsible for board on the
Well,
horse.
I
Yes,
do have a
she
countersuit against her that I would like to...
When did you file a countersuit?
I didn't, sir, because I was going to file a countersuit against her, but I still have not even been served in the city of Henderson on this court date. The only way I found out about it was through the People's Court. They had not served me...
Animal Court.
Animal Court, I'm sorry, sir.
I used to be on the People's Court.
Anyway,
I'm glad you remember me anyway.
I do.
Okay,
Your Honor, my belief...
Let's look
Okay.
at the tape.
This is Katie. She's 9 years old. She had been standing for 6.5 months. I put her in the round pen, and I'm asking her here to canter and to trot, which she does at verbal command. And this right here is what I got her to do at the end, to bow to the audience. Now that is not an untrainable...
Where's the audience?
Well, I had the cameraman there.
Okay.
But she follows you around like a puppy dog. It's when you try and trailer train her and put her in a trailer she does not understand. And it's when you try and put a saddle on her, and I explained all this to Jan in the beginning. However, the trainer did put a saddle on her and ride her, and there was no problem. It's my own fear that I have to overcome, and I could not do it. That's why I decided to sell the horse.
I thought that I had a reasonable cause for changing my mind about the horse, particularly with my father's illness. And when I told her I was not going to buy the horse...
Isn't that why you really wanted to cancel the deal, because of your father's illness?
No, it was both things.
Take a short recess. I'll come back and give you my
Thank
decision.
you.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
The defendant tells her that this horse is not saddle trained. She tells her that has had difficulty in loading because it's not trailer trained. She's told her that she has a lot of problems with this horse. I don't know what else you could tell a person. I don't think that you have proven your grounds to rescind the contract. Now, what I want to find out from you is, since the horse is difficult to put in a trailer, will you put the horse in a trailer and take it over to her place?
I don't feel that I want to give her the horse at this point.
You're not giving her anything. You're getting $1,500. That's why she's getting the horse.
I'd rather give her her money back than to give her a horse that she might get hurt on, or that she is going to end up selling to a auction and they're going to use the horse for dog food. Or
if you want to give her money back, that's up to you. You're losing $500. You want to settle the case that way? Give her her $1,000 back?
it's better than giving her the horse. I will not give her the horse because I don't want to see the horse hurt.
Well, she wants to give you what you're asking for.
All I want is the $1,000.
All right. It's a judgment for plaintiff for $1,000.
Most of what I do with the therapeutic riding program. They have mostly older horses, and I massage them, you know, as a hobby, not for money.
The horse barely let her get near her. She moved around about the corral, constantly trying to get away from her.
My perception is different from Patricia's. I do feel that the massage therapy calmed the horse.
There's some horses it might work for, and there's some horses that it's never going to work for. And my horse happened to be one of those.
And the horse that I had previously was not well trained when I got him, and I was very successful with him. He made great strides in the time that I had him, so I felt that I would be able to manage.
Yes, I was very attached, and I had already gone through all the crying and all the upsetness before they got there because I knew she was leaving that day. And I was inside crying while they were even trying to load her because all I could see was the horse getting hurt.